Hey y'all, I want to welcome y'all to this channel. It's the Chicago Vibe Podcast. We'll be dropping this Saturday with your girl, Lady T. Marie and Mr. Success. You don't want to miss it. Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl, Lady T. Marie with It's the Chicago Vibe and Mr. Success. Today, we have two special guests that have two podcasts, Roddy's Live Podcast and also Melania Sip Sessions, right?
Melanin Sip Session.
Okay.
You was close.
Said it. We have two podcasters that's on, and today's topic is about, do you know your love language? Is a very important topic. I feel like everyone that's, whether you're married or single, in a relationship, thinking about dating, I just feel like you should know your language, your love language, and your partner's love language. So we have two dope people that's on the show today and gonna explain to y'all what is their love language and what your love language should be, or do you even know your love language? So I want y'all to stay tuned. And do you know your love language? I heard it's better to give than to receive, and every seed that you plant will grow. Let all the love you give flow.
Do you know your partner's love language? Well, it's tricky because I guess after being with a person for a while, over time, you can figure out a person's love language and how to get to them. And it's different ways, books out there you could read, counseling and stuff, but different ways. It's just really acts of service, I like to call it. You do something special for your loved one from time to time, mix it up a little bit, different ways. So I'm gonna ask, I guess I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Man. What's your partner's love language, or from your experience, what can you do to satisfy your significant other?
The two most important things is time and listening. And what a lot of people don't do is pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you'll miss everything. And you gotta listen. Time is the most valuable resource that we got. And if you don't get that time to your significant other, somebody else will, or they could find themselves looking for it elsewhere. So I think it's most important to pay attention to your partner, and don't listen to somebody else, because the dynamics of your relationship is different from the dynamics of somebody else. What works for someone else probably don't work with you, because it's different players, different components. That's what I got to say.
Okay, Valencia, do you know your love language?
Yes, mine is words of affirmation.
Okay. Words of affirmation. That's a really good one. Do you know your partner's love language?
He's actually two. I would say he's quality time and physical touch.
Okay, that's amazing. I want to jump this back over to Rodis. Rodis, do you know or understand like your wife's her love language?
Yes, I do. Hers is humor, quality time, and intimacy. Not sex, intimacy. So It's a difference, for people who don't know. Sex is the physical act. Intimacy is the entire interaction.
Wow, that's good. Sammy, would you like to share with everyone? Do you know your love language?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like the acts of services, I would say, and quality time, like a couple of you guys mentioned on here, and receiving gifts from time to time, just to show a person you thinking about them. It ain't got to be nothing like expensive or out of reach, just some thoughtful, and what else can I say? Just good comments sometimes. Just say good things to them, make them know that you're on their mind, or you say stuff to them that's on their mind, like if they're feeling down. Like I can know when my partner, she's down, I could tell, and I always say those things, uplift her. I try to anyway to get around it, and if the first jab don't work, I always try to come up with something different to try to satisfy in that way.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all a definition of what Google say love language is. And it is the term love language. It refers to the way that a person prefers to express love, to and to receive it from a partner. So that's Google definition of, basically an expression of how you give love or how you receive love. So I'm gonna get to the next question for Valencia. And the next question is how important is, since we talked about, what our your love language is and what your partner love language is, how important do you think it is to know your partner's love
That's
language?
actually a good question. I think it's a very important thing to know it, because if you don't understand your partner or know their love language, you could be doing something totally different, like loving them in the way you want to love them and not the way they want to be loved. So you could be giving them like gifts and they really just want you to talk to them. Like they might be words of affirmation, not receiving gifts. So if you don't understand their love language, that's a lot of the reasons I think that a lot of couples kind of lose it when it comes to communication, because you don't understand your partner.
Absolutely. Rod is asking you the same question. How important is it to you to know your wife's love language?
Well, it's kind of like second nature now. So I think it's very important because you know, I'm I'm there to love her. I'm there to watch her back. If she emotional, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, even if I'm emotional, I'm gonna make a good decision. But by me knowing, her love language, I could step in and say, "Hey, babe, what about this? Hey, why you want to do that?" You know.
Okay, that's dope. I also feel like to piggyback off what Valencia said, she said a statement about we need to know, because a lot of times, especially if you're in a new relationship, I know y'all all y'all married, and I used, I was married, but I'm a widow now. But I it's important to know like your partner's love language. I believe is because you can get into a new relationship and assume, like this person is the same as this person without, thinking like, oh, I've been with this person for 15 years or 20 years. And you adjusted to how this person was to give you love and not knowing that this is a whole new person that you with. So for all the single people who's out there that's dating, and you in something fresh and it's good to talk about and to express how you feel. And communication is definitely, I feel like the number one key is you have to have communication and you have to express, how you feel and what's bothering you. If you like your back to be rubbed and and he don't like to rub your back, then that could become a problem because that's something that you like. So you gotta kind of find a mutual agreement. You have to kind of like cater to each other's needs, and wants, because if you're trying to build something with a person, you want to please them, and it's not about, a person getting their way all the time, but you want to make that person feel love and you want to, give them the affection that they need. So, Sammy, how is it important for you as well for you to, for your partner to know, for you to know
Well,
your
it's
partner's love
very
language?
important because it's people don't give and receive the love in the same way. And most of us think that the way we want to be loved is the same way your partner want to be loved. And that's not the case all the time. So it's really just a challenge, and I try to figure it out. I know if I could get a smile out you, especially when you're feeling down about something, I know something happened in you, I try to be there for that comfort, but I find out ways about you then and what I could always do to make you happy. So it's like it's really a challenge, but like I say, time will tell. After you've been with a person for a while, you can figure out they wants and they needs, and it's just a quest because something attracted you two together in the first place, and then like I say, mix it up sometime, try different things, go different places. Like I heard a couple of you say quality time, and quality time is a must. You got to find some, you could just do constantly together, and movie time is always a good thing I like to do. We like to watch movies and even had debates about them or talk about them afterwards, what were our thoughts on them or something like that. Just to keep quality time going by us both working in different fields and stuff 24/7. So
Rod, this question is for you. What do you do if you've been in a marriage, I'll say 10 years, and in the beginning of the marriage, everything was just wonderful in the bedroom. Y'all was happy, everything was go lucky, and then maybe 5 years into the marriage, your significant other was like, I kind of, I'm tired, or, dealing with the body can change for women, and women go through so much emotion, so many things emotionally and physically, and just say, I don't want to be intimate no more. How could you tell the men out there, how could they handle that situation?
The ultimate love language is reciprocation. So if your partner going through something, you gotta honor those vows. If they can't physically satisfy you, that's what you signed up for. You gotta honor your vows, and you should love somebody more than just for the physical portion of a relationship. Because most women, y'all women on the panel, I gotta say this, 90% of love and everything else is mental. Yeah. Y'all know it. So I just have to roll with it.
Okay. Valencia, same question. Same question. How would you handle if you've been in a marriage and you have a high sex driving, your husband say, well, I'm going through some things, and it may not even be physically, it just may be sometimes people get comfortable and they feel like, okay, I got you wifey, you hubby, and we chilling. What do you do? How do you handle that situation for the women? Can you speak for the women
I
out there?
think a lot of women need to start asking how their men's mental is going. Like, they expect the men to check on them all the time. It needs to be vice versa. So if I feel like he's going through something and he may not be quite ready to talk about it, or maybe it's affecting our sex life, I'm not going to push him. Like, if you're not in the mood, I can't make you be in the mood for anything. I can't do anything but honor what you say. So if you say give you time, I'm gonna give you time. I actually do need anything in the meantime, but at the same time, you can't force anything.
Absolutely.
And that's why a lot of people start to dislike sex, because you're forcing them into something they don't feel as comfortable with anymore. Like, in the beginning, it was fun, then you have kids and things, and everything changes.
Absolutely.
So it's like y'all gotta always find
I feel like, definitely, I agree with both of you guys. I feel like you gotta have a balance, and when children definitely is involved, like, things shift, and you gotta work, and it's like you gotta find a time for yourself, not just you become one, first of all, when you marry, so y'all one, but still you definitely need time to regroup, because you may have children, you may have work, you may have a business, and it's a lot of responsibility. And it's like, by the time you get home, you like have sex.
What?
Like, what?
Being married is a selfless act, not a selfish act.
Absolutely.
And if you have plans to get down, you need to be texting your wife all day. Like, man, guess what? I got some chocolate at the crib. I got some rose petals popping. And if she say no, then it's just no, but at least you tried.
I mean, but you got the right concept. I won't say a lot, because some men do get it. They just express it differently.
Exactly.
More men need to understand that. Like, if you want her to be in the mood, I agree with that. Like, lead me up to it throughout the day. Show some type of romance. A lot of them don't understand it, or think that being romantic is on the soft side, but you're supposed to be soft with your spouse.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Is there anything you got to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's all add to the part of physical touching too. So where you hold, it ain't always got to be like no blunt sexual, physical touch or nothing like that. But I mean, just sometimes the comfort of the holding, sometimes that could lead up to, nibbling on the neck or anything. So like all that falls in line to play. You just got to know how to turn your woman on. Or man, you just got to lead them up to it.
It's okay to touch the body, but once you touch that soul,
right. That's it. And I want to just say, to all the married people, I soon will be married again, hopefully soon. But to all the married people out there, I just want to say, like, keep the sparks going, like, try different things. I hear a lot of people say, like, role playing, you got to do something to be creative, like, because you got to be with this person for the rest of your life.
That ain't no bad thing. So here's the thing: a relationship is constant work, 24/7.
Right.
You got to respect the boundaries. You respect the boundaries, you don't have to worry about no red flags. You can say, "Oh, I done went in the deep end over here. I'm out of order.
Yeah.
Let me check myself."
Absolutely. Well, no, I was just saying, keep it up. Don't think, a lot of times, and I know from experience of being married, a lot of times, people get comfortable and they feel like, oh, I'm just speaking on my past experiences. and they get comfortable, like, man, I got her, we cool, and it's just like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, I'm not saying I want you to be jumping off a building for me and nothing like that, but like, let's have dinner. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's do something when we dated. You know what I mean? Keep that fire going. That's all I'm saying. Don't get comfortable, ladies. Men, don't get comfortable, because you just gotta keep the fire going and show love. And like Valencia said earlier, you gotta check for your man too, because men, they may not express to us, that they dealing with some emotional stuff or dealing with stuff because they the man, and they hold up that standard. But you have to, still pray for him. You know what I mean? You have to pray for him. You have to cover him just like he covered you. So we have to definitely cover our men and encourage him, build him up. Like the scripture says, be that wise woman that builded her house and not a foolish one that plucks it down with her own hand. And if you do that, y'all will be, y'all have a successful marriage, and continue to be blessed, because God really he honors marriage, he honors a union. And so I just want to lay out the red carpet for all y'all that's on here that's married and happy and successful, because it's work. I know. I know it's work, but it's a beautiful thing to be with somebody, who God ordained you to be with, and to cherish that.
Humor is needed in relationships, marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta laugh. You
That
do gotta
part.
laugh.
Oh, but the other thing you're forgetting?
What?
Quiet. I don't know why people think when you're quiet and it seems bored that's a bad thing. Sometimes
No, it's a good
communication is the
thing.
best. But a lot of people be like, I'm bored. No, we could communicate through quiet too.
That's
You can say a
body
lot.
language. That's
Mhm.
body language.
All that fall under
It
that.
But the
depends on
humor,
who you with, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, you know who
Like,
you with, that's
I
your
want
partner.
I want thinking,
yeah, you
like
should know your partner.
your body ain't
you should
right.
know your
So,
partner.
That's why I ain't married yet.
If men lead properly, they lady will follow. And it ain't about I'm the
Exactly, yeah.
boss.
Like you said, Valencia, you got to know your partner, because everybody not marriage material. Like some men think they are, because my issue is I've been engaged twice and been married, 3 times. And let me tell you, some men, I'm not gonna say all, some men, they got that spirit about them. Well, I'm the man and I'm the king and I'm King Tut.
Yeah.
When you are a man, you ain't got to tell the world that. I've never had a problem with submission with being with my husband. So you ain't got to tell the world like, oh, you got to, I had one husband tell me it's a woman's job, like, to iron his clothes.
That sounds like an argument.
It's a woman's job. This how you told
It's only my job to iron your clothes if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
That part. And so he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he was mentally like someone right. I'm like, who raised you? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a real man, you ain't gotta just do what you're supposed to do, and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do anyway. You ain't gotta tell me to air your clothes. I know to do that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Who raised you? You know what I'm saying? And he was raised by an older couple. You know what I'm saying, by his grandparents, and it didn't work out.
You can't blame the grandparents.
I mean,
It's
no, you
him.
can't blame him because it's a different generation, but we in a different time zone. He got to
right. That's really
program.
Exactly. He was born. It's his fault.
He was born as his fault.
Man, I was like, what is wrong with these people? So I'm just like, I'm taking it easy. When I get married to husband number 4, it's gonna be to death do us apart.
We
Like, it's
show
not
people how to treat us, y'all.
Yeah.
I asked a question to everybody. How long did you know your spouse before you married your spouse?
Okay, well, my first husband, we would have been married for 23 years. Within the 6th year of the marriage, he was in and out of prison. We both started off in ministry, preaching, but he chose to go a different route, and I wasn't trying to go that way. And so he kept every year he was in prison, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm tired. I'm young. I was in my early 20s. So maybe 2 years later, I said, okay, you know, I'm in ministry, so I gotta be married. Ain't no you gonna marry or burn. And so I got married to a man of God, and he was the devil's sidekick. And we was married literally for years, but he was physically abusive to my daughter, you know, like to the point where like almost broke her arm. Like, and so I ain't gonna tell y'all what happened after that, but divorce court.
I mean, but it's a good thing you got out. You know how many women stay? Like they don't know how to leave.
Yeah, I was like, I can't, I'm about to kill you. Like I literally had lighter fluid and some matches, like finna like yeah, set him on fire. So thank God I got that. So then I got married 3 years later to my husband, which he passed away Christmas of
Sorry for your
2
loss.
Christmases ago. Yeah. So we had 15 years in. So we had 15 years that which were good, you know. He was a good man. That's all I could say. And I feel like, you know, I learned a lot, and I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my worth, you know, and not just accepting anything from a person. So I learned a lot, and the years that we cherished was a blessing. So I'm good though. That's why I'm not trying to really like jump into another marriage. Like even though it's been almost 3 years, I'm not trying to jump into another relationship, like another marriage, because you need time to heal. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't get themselves time to heal. They just be jumping into stuff. And like me, you know, when I was younger, like, okay, I just want to be married. And it's like, but you ain't even healed from your last traumatic situation. So you got to definitely have time to heal and allow God to make you whole. Because when you don't heal properly, you take all that old baggage into the new situation. And it's like, it's not good for nobody. So.
Well, you know, like I rap, and like when I was meeting people, I tell them flat out, like, you know, I don't really have no time, you know. I got a show here, I got a show here, I got a show here. You know, this post COVID. And me and my wife, you know, we was hanging out and stuff. She was like, you got a show in North Carolina, I go with you, I ride with you. So she went and she saw, you know, the production, you gotta do sound check, you gotta check in when you get there, you know, like to make sure that the venue, everything right, all of that. You know, you gotta go do radio and promote and do all of that stuff. And she was like, wow, this is a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, she knew about it and she was like, no, this ain't bad, you know, you can pay good money for 4 hours, you know? So we just was cool, you know. And then we just hit it off.
So, and shout out to your wife, you know, and shout out to Valencia, to your husband as well. You know, and shout out to your wife too, Sammy.
Yeah. And me and my wife been knowing each other all my life because she's a couple of years older than me. Her mother and my mother was grammar school best friends. So we basically knew each other. So we knew the pain.
Wow.
We knew that's how we hit it off. So when it's crazy because we never flirted with each other as kids, teenagers. But it was just, I've been to several of her parties and stuff before. She's been to several of mine because actually I got a picture of her at my 4th-year-old birthday party standing right next to me hugging me. But
wow.
Wow.
That's what's
That's
like
amazing.
one day at a party, we were just talking about the kids, you're not starting the podcast. I'm like, what? Well, I didn't even know what a podcast was. And she was music and stuff. We were just talking about anything. And we just, hey, she was just got over a bad
what's
relationship.
up.
I just got out of a bad one. And hey, history, here we are.
So how long
So-
y'all been married?
2016.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, me too.
2006. Valencia, how long have you been married?
2020. I literally got married during the pandemic because I have very little patience for people. I was like, I'm choosing
Okay.
you and nobody can come.
Hey, Valencia, but check this out. You too, Sammy. You too, Lady T. Just think about all the people who was cooped up with somebody during a pandemic that they married for the wrong reason.
That is true. Because I
Financial
actually waited
gain.
6 years. I waited 6 years to marry my husband. I told him you can't propose to me before 6 years because people like to show their true colors and I want to see if you flip at any point. But he didn't know why I said 6 years. But yeah, literally during the pandemic, it hit 6 years.
Wow.
That's what's up.
That's good though. I feel like y'all definitely I never met him, but just you speaking of him, like y'all definitely compliment each other. Really all y'all. And that's inspiration, for me. So, I'm taking my time because I'm living my best life,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, supposed to enjoy it.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
It's just like I'm a teacher and I work around a whole bunch of Beckys. A whole bunch of Beckys. I ain't interested in Becky now.
Hey.
They say, have you ever cheated on your wife? I said, if I cheat on my wife, I'll be cheating myself.
There you go.
That part. That's woo. Put that on a t-shirt, right?
Hey, them bars. You got to put that.
That husband energy.
They gave me chills.
And on that note, we're gonna take a small commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Get to know your partner in your love language. Experts say that there are essentially 5 emotional love languages, of which people can speak, show, and understand love. While many wants to be loved the way that they give love, understanding how you and your partner communicate love is important to keep a strong, healthy, and happy life. From Mr. Success, if I can't tell you the truth, it's nothing at all. Mr. Success, bringing pleasure, no stress. Peace.
Hey you, do you feel your back is up against the wall with nowhere to go or turn? Mental illness is real. And if you or someone you know is battling with this demon, try Jesus. This commercial is sponsored by the Lord.
Dear God, thank you for the gift of family and friends. Bless everyone, for they deserve all the goodness you have given to me. May the love that binds us only grow stronger as we fulfill the destiny you have laid out for us. Protect us against any and all problems we may encounter in the future. Give us strength to overcome all of the difficulties that we are dealing with now. Heavenly Father, bless us, Lord. In your name I pray. Amen.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to It's a Chicago Vibe podcast, and we're here live talking about your partner's love language. Lady T, before we went to break, you was about to ask our guests a couple of questions.
Yes, I wanted to ask Radis and Valencia, Vivacious Valencia. First I'm gonna ask Valencia ladies first. About what do you have next, coming up next? What are you doing? What's going on in your life right now?
You mean as far as the podcast?
Yeah, as far as your podcast, your life, your business.
I didn't realize podcasting took all this energy because I not only record with 4 other co-hosts, I have to edit everything. So, and I'm, thanks to Illinois Media School, a perfectionist at what I hear and what I don't hear. So I'm going to get back into the editing thing and start releasing more episodes. As far as life, planning trips and everything with both the family and the husband, because you got to keep it separate and together at the same time.
Yeah.
That magnificent voice that always introduced me as Mr. Success. That's right here, Miss
Valencia.
I almost forgot about that.
Yes,
Yeah, I heard it. I said, "Oh my God, that's
everything."
Valencia." I know that voice. That's dope. And so, can you let the people know where they can find you, where they can find your podcast and all your information?
Oh, absolutely. So if you're wanting to follow my personal podcast page, it'll be Vivacious Valencia on Instagram. Our actual podcast page is Melanin Sip Sessions Podcast on Instagram and Facebook as well. And we also just created a TikTok, but we'll see how that goes. TikTok takes a lot too. But yeah, you can find us on those platforms. As far as the podcast itself, Spotify, it's pretty much on whatever platform you hear a podcast on. You can Anchor, Spotify, all of that, iHeart, all of it.
Okay. If there's anything that you can say to encourage anybody out there, what would you tell them?
As far as life in general or marriage?
Either or.
Both.
Okay, with marriage, we're gonna start with that. With marriage, I think a lot of people got the misperception that marriage is bullcrap, because a lot of people get married and then they just divorce rapidly. It's okay to divorce. If you're not happy, divorce. It's also okay to be married. Don't let the world dictate when you're ready to be married, and don't let them make you think marriage is pretty much like a waste of time, because a lot of people feel like that. Like, it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything. It does, because when your spouse passes away and you get nothing, you'll feel it. So it's a communication thing. It's a family thing. It's something you can build on your own and make your own rules to. You do not have to follow anything traditional or what society tells you to. Marriage is what you make. It's also what was said earlier. It's a selfless act. If you're not going to be selfless about it, do not do it, because then you're just wasting somebody else's time who's putting in 100% when you're not. As far as life, pretty much the same information. Don't let people dictate your life either. What you see on social media is likely not even what most people are living in their real life. They're putting on a show for entertainment. So live your life to the best of your ability. You decide you want to go back to college at 40, do you? You're going to succeed regardless.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Valencia. Okay, Riders. I want you to let the people know, what you got going on, what's coming up next. Can you let them know who you are?
My name is Riders. I'm the host of the Riders Live podcast. I'm going into my third year. A lot of people they try to tell me, "Oh, you can't do this as a podcaster. You can't do that." Nobody knows your work ethic. Nobody knows the ideas that you have. Nobody knows how you're going to communicate with the masses. Nobody know what you meditated on and God gave you to put out there to the world, because if he tell you to put it out there, they're going to receive it. Even though my podcast is about hip-hop, urban culture, and entrepreneurship, man, I got almost like 240,000 streams.
That's dope.
I ain't paid for nothing. Like, I woke up this morning, like, I can't believe I'm getting decent money off my podcast, but it's just like a relationship. You got to put in work. It is difficult to come up with content every week, and nobody can tell you what you doing for your show. They don't know. Like, it's a Chicago vibe. It's a good podcast. Y'all got good chemistry. And I like the positive vibe and message that y'all put out. It's an honor to be on here. I got a day job like everybody else. I teach high school math. I'm a realtor. I'm a barber. Like that self-care, self-love. I'm going on vacation next week. I need it. Me and my wife, we going on a cruise. We gonna chill and kick it.
Yes.
We just came off a date, Taco Tuesday, $2.50 tacos.
I'm trying to tell you.
The little things mean a lot. Like when you're in love and you love your spouse and you love your family, you can't put no monetary value on nothing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So what I got coming up is you can look forward to another episode of Riders Live. Episodes drop every Friday at midnight. You can check them out on my website, which is ridersonline.net. And you could go to all streaming platforms: Apple, Goodpod, Spotify, iHeart. Just go to Linktree/Riders. I got merchandise. If you need any consulting about your podcast or whatever, just hit me up on Instagram and everything.
And you got music out there too?
Yeah, I got music out, man. So matter of fact, before you got the link, you know, I was writing a verse to send back to this dude for his album. It's gonna be cool. And just like Valencia said, don't follow the smoke.
Yes.
These people on social media, they don't know nothing about going outside. They don't know nothing about rock teacher. They don't know nothing about the street lights. Man, forget about it. They don't know about a super transfer.
That part.
Yeah.
Real life is lit. That's my point, y'all.
That's what's up. Yeah. Well, Sammy, back to you.
Oh yeah, and yeah. I would just like to encourage everybody if you're in a relationship and you're having trouble, find ways to work it out, because I mean, you guys came to each other from God. You know, God don't make no mistakes. If you felt you make a mistake, just admit it. Oh Lord, forgive me. We made a mistake, and you both go your separate ways. You know, end it happy. But to save it, find ways to save each other. You know, like we say, the little things, it helps. It reaches just the comments and all that. And my advice to anybody trying to get into the industry, media, music, anything, just continue to create content. Don't let nobody hold you back or tell you too young or you too old, if that's the point. Do what you do what you like to do. You want to learn how to do a podcast, just turn on the record button and start talking about something. You know, go to some trade school to learn how to get into the field and stuff like that. It's you holding yourself back. Don't listen to all the negative energy, people telling you what you can and can't do. Just put your pedal to the metal and go.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%. Like, my podcast is in the top 0.5% of the world, like ranked.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations.
But
wow.
it come from work, y'all.
That's
Y'all
dope.
know it come from work.
Oh yeah,
Gotta
it definitely
do the
take work. You do yours by yourself?
Yeah, I do it by myself because sometimes, you know, God will wake me up like, I want you to talk about this.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about that. And then, you know, I don't know, man. I just be ready to go, you know? I do have guests though, y'all. So if like me and my friends, like on Sundays, I want to invite y'all to it. We got a thing called Toxic Bible Study. So it's like 8 different podcasts, and anybody could lead it. They think that it's a show, but you know, we just do it so everybody could come on, network. If you want to come up, you could talk, you know.
And where is it located at?
It's on Instagram.
Oh,
really? So it's live.
Yeah, we do it.
Yeah.
We do it 12
You know,
Eastern every yeah, 12 Eastern every Sunday. It's called Toxic Bible Study. Y'all could come up there and talk, network, get in the comments, you know.
Before we get out of here, you know how we like to do it. You got to send the people off with some words of encouragement.
And y'all know these affirmations be straight from the dome. Like, you know how y'all be freestyling? Yeah, they come straight from God. So if I could leave y'all with anything today, I would just tell you to definitely love yourself. And in order to get love, you got to send out love. You know, be respectful, you know, be wise, and you know, give out good hugs. You know what I'm saying? You gotta whatever you send out there, you're gonna receive. So if you want good to come to you, you gotta send out good. So that's the affirmation for today. And you gotta know, you gotta continue to love yourself and to be positive. And when you plant good seeds will grow, you know, into something that is wonderful. So be great. My name is Lady T. Marie, and I'm signing out with It's a Chicago Vibe. Thank y'all for tuning in, sending love to the world and hugs to them thugs.
DJ
all right.
Mr. Success.
You know my motto, when you with Mr. Success, you always have a ball. If I can't tell the truth, it's nothing at all. Mr. Success, blanking pressure, no stress. Until next week, y'all, peace.
Peace out.
C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A. Let's go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A. Let's go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A. Let's go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A.